One day there were two donkeys. One of them was called Arthur and the other was called Mildred. So, Arthur was having a bit of a strap at Mildred about the unfairness of their loads. Arthur said, "If I give you one of my sacks, we will have the same number. And if you give me one of yours, I'll have twice as many as you." So, our question is, how many did each have? We're gonna figure this out by using algebra simplified. So now let's talk about case 1. As the question said, if I gave you one of my sacks, we have the same number. So that means Arthur minus 1 sack equals Mildred plus 1 sack. In order to simplify this equation, we can take away the 1 sack from the left-hand side by adding another 1 sack on the left-hand side and adding another 1 sack on the right-hand side. And that would mean Arthur equals Mildred plus 2 sacks. And this is equation 1. So now let's talk about case 2. The question says, if you gave me one of yours, I'll have twice as many as you. We can write it out as Arthur plus 1 sack equals Mildred minus 1 sack, which is the whole total, times 2, since it says twice as many. And then we write it as 2 Mildred minus 2 sacks as we multiply 2 into each individual. And on the left-hand side, nothing has changed. And then we'll use the same technique as we used in case 1. But instead of adding, this time we subtract 1 sack on the left-hand side and we do the same on the right-hand side. And that will leave Arthur, since there are no sacks left. And then there will be 2 Mildred minus 3 sacks. And that is equation 2. So now we can compare equation 1 with equation 2. As Arthur equals this and this, that means blue equals purple. So we can write it out as 2 Mildred minus 3 sacks equals Mildred plus 2 sacks. So now we can simplify it by deducting a Mildred on the left-hand side and another Mildred on the right-hand side. And that will leave Mildred minus 3 sacks equals 2 sacks. So in order to deduct the 3 sacks on the left-hand side, we can add 3 sacks on both sides. And that will leave only Mildred, since there will be no sacks. And 2 sacks plus 3 sacks equals 5 sacks. So now we can call this equation 3. Now, compare equation 3 with equation 1 by putting this number into here. And that will mean Arthur equals 5 sacks plus 2 sacks. So that will mean Arthur equals 7 sacks. So now we can see Mildred has 5 sacks and Arthur has 7 sacks. And that's all for today. Bye bye.